Now let's discuss the concept of Saum as per Quran. In order to define the concept of Saum as per Quran, we would discuss ayat number 1926. And this is a normal mistranslation. This is a translation which is normally done of this ayah. So eat and drink and be content. And if you see from anyone, from any human, then say, indeed, I have vowed to the most merciful a fast, so not I will speak today to any human being. Now, keeping in mind that this is a wrong translation, even then, if you look at the first phrase, so eat and drink. Sayyam or Saum is nothing to do with fasting from hunger or thirst or fasting from food and drink at all. It's nothing to do with that, because at the very onset, the ayah itself says that eating and drinking is part of being in the Saum. So if you look at the correct translation of this ayah, I would like to define few words before. So kulu basically means to utilize, consume, take benefit from, make use of. It does not mean eat, because in one of the ayahs, for instance, in ayah number 4:2, Allah says, do not kulu the amwal of the yatim. Allah is not asking you not to eat the amwal of the yatim. Allah is asking you not to take benefit from, not to utilize, not to make use of, not to consume the amwal of the yatim, the wealth of the yatim. Ashrabu basically means to get overwhelmed, to get engulfed, to act upon. And I'll explain these two concepts through an example. For instance, you are watching news or you're listening to the news. What you're doing is you're taking benefit from the news. You're consuming it. You're using it, right? Then when you act upon that news and make specific changes in your behavior and um, in your day-to-day life, you get overwhelmed, you get engulfed, and that's called ashrabu. Ara basically means observe, come face to face, or perceive. Ahadan is normally translated as one, whereas it basically means same. It's used as opposite of farak. So for instance, when one of the ayahs says that your deity and my deity is ahadan, it does not mean that your deity and my deity is one. It basically means that your deity and my deity is the same. There's no farak, there's no distinction, there's no difference. So ahad means same. Bashar is used in this particular ayat along with the word insan. So both of these words, Bashar and insan, is used in order to define and translate it as human being, whereas there's a specific and basic difference between the two words. So insan is used in Quran in the name and the meanings of human being, whereas Bashar is used in Quran in the meaning of with Shar, which means that to err is human. We are with Shar, which Shar basically means anything that is done to destroy human capability or to waste human efforts, the purpose of which is to cause death, destruction, and fasad on earth. We as humans have are with Shar. We make mistakes all the time. Saum basic meaning is in the meaning of to restrain, to abstain, to control, to stop, to halt, to discontinue, to prevent, to break, to adjourn, to interrupt, to pause, or to put an end to something. So the basic idea is to restrain something, to control something, to put an end or to halt something. Aklamu means consume, interact, engage, or benefit from. Yom does not mean day. Yom basically means well-known aspects, well-known things, well-known something that's confirmed. There's no changing to that. Insan, as I said, it basically means human being. Let's define this, the concept of Saum from this ayah 1926 by going word by word. So the first phrase is Fakuli wa ashrabi. Now, one thing that is done mostly by normal and traditional scholars, translators, is that they completely ignore the alphabet ye at the end. So whenever the ye is there at the end, it does not mean that kulu and ashrabu. It means kulu, me, ashrabu, me. So this particular ayat is basically in discussion to Maryam. And Allah is basically asking Maryam to kulu me, to ashrabu me. And the basic idea is to consume, take benefit from, to utilize, and and use Allah's hidayah, Allah's system, Allah's laws of deen, and Allah's laws of nature, as well as the fitrat of Allah as embedded in each one of us. So kulu me means take benefit from Allah's whole system. Ashrabu means get engulfed, get immersed, act upon all these laws, act upon the system, act upon everything that you have taken benefit from. Use, get engulfed, get immersed in Allah's system. And karar anan. Karar basically means satisfaction. Anan means your vision, enlightenment. And up and satisfy your enlightenment, your vision. Then if you come face to face from anything which is with Shar, Ahadan, the same type. So we as human beings are with Shar. And this is the same type. This is the same type. There's no difference. We are all with Shar. If you come face to face from any of the Bashar, which is any of with Shar, Ahadan, then Kali, then interact with that or reflect from your conducts and behavior with that I indeed nazarat to the Rahman Sauman. I indeed nazarat to the Rahman Sauman. Restrain, control. Then not aklamu, not interact. The Yaman insan. The well-known aspects of human being. What are the well-known aspects of human being? What are the confirmed aspects of human being in which there is no change? Which is with Shar. To err is human. We are with Shar. So here, Allah is defining the concept of Saum beautifully as a regime of self-control, self-restraint, discipline to stay away from, not engage, benefit from, consume, interact with in any shape or form the same type and aspects of Shar that are well known of us as human beings. We're supposed to constrain these aspects of Shar. We're supposed to put an halt, to control, to restrain these aspects of Shar. So it calls for the regime of both self-control and self-discipline, as well as our endeavors to restrain and put an halt, put an end, stop, curtail these aspects of Shar, which are well-known and confirmed aspects of human beings. And we can only do that if we kulu and ashrabu the ayat of Allah, the system of Allah, the deen of Allah. Another ayat that I would like to define is ayat 33-35. Now, this ayat lists all of such attributes of people from whom Allah has given maghfirat and great ajr. So one of the attributes and of the people is was-saimin, was-saimat. Now, if you look at the normal translation of this particular ayat, it says the fasting men and the fasting women. Was-saimin and was-saimat does not mean fasting men and fasting women. So for instance, Salihin was Salihat. So Salihin are those people who do acts of Islam. And Salihat are those Amle Salihat, the acts of Salihat itself. So Salihin was Salihat basically means those who do acts of Islam and the acts of Islam itself. Similarly here, Saimin are those who do Saum, who self-restrain, self-control, as well as endeavor to put an end to the aspects of Shar, as well as Saimat basically refers to the acts of Saum itself. So if you look at this phrase, Wasaimin, Wasaimat, these are attributes, acts, as well as the people who perform these acts, who exercise self-control, self-restraint, and self-discipline to remain within the boundaries of their deen. And Allah is not talking about during any specific month of the year. Allah is not talking about that. It's all through our daily lives. It's moment to moment. It's day by day, every breath we take, we have to do Saum. And we have to do Saum from all aspects of Shar. Anything that's done to destroy human capability or to waste human efforts, the purpose of which is to cause death, destruction, and fasad on earth. That's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to endeavor to control it, to put an halt to it, to restrain it through self-control and self-discipline, and by doing kulu and ashrabu of Allah's system.